Sejam bem-vindos a mais um Encontros no Mundo em Lisboa. Estamos desta feita com a senhora Embaixadora Satu Suikkari-Kleven, da Finlândia, e vamos saber um pouco mais deste país, que, tal como Portugal, também partilha uma história com o mar e relações diplomáticas desde o século passado.
Well, they are excellent. We are two very like-minded countries in many respects. We are both very strong supporters of the multilateral system in the world. We are both strong supporters of the European Union and the work within the European Union. We both look at Europe from two edges of the continent. Nationally we have very similar priorities, focusing very much on the green transition, on the digital transition, and so forth. And we celebrated the 100 years of diplomatic relations 2-3 years ago. It was briefly after Finland gained independence in 1917. When Portugal recognized the state of Finland, and then we formed the diplomatic relations. And actually at that occasion we agreed on a declaration on further strengthening of our bilateral relations. And the issues that I just mentioned were among the topics where we saw a lot of potential, but of course also economic, trade, cooperation with to fight climate change and so forth, to promote democracy, human rights, rule of law in the world, these kinds of issues. So I think that we have although we are at the other geographically at the ends of the European Union, I think we share a lot, and we have a lot in common. Well, the economic agenda, that is actually very active, very full. It's one of our priorities to promote trade between Finland and Portugal. There is already a lot going on. There are a lot of major Finnish companies who have been in Portugal for decades, like Nokia, currently employing more than 2,500 people in Portugal, and that number is growing. Or Valmet, which has big operations here in Portugal. And then we have also smaller, newer companies who have, especially in the IT field, which have really discovered Portugal in the recent years. And I think that because both countries are focus very much on supporting startups and scale-ups, enabling them to become bigger and finding partnerships. That's a very interesting area of cooperation between our two countries. And then, of course, I think because both of our countries, of course, are very much focusing on the green transition, so we need technologies in renewable energies, in energy efficiency, and so forth, but also decarbonizing of industries. So these are the topics that we are very much focusing on, and I think that there is a lot of interest in both ways to cooperate there. And we were very happy that ICEP, the Portuguese trade organization, opened an office in Finland about less than a year ago. So that, I think, reinforces the message that there is great potential to grow the trade between our two countries. Well, yes, Finland participated with a strong delegation in the Ocean Summit, UN Ocean Summit, that was hosted by Portugal. Excellent conference, excellent organization of it. And again, there one of the main emphasis that we wanted to bring up in that conference, and when it comes to Finnish technologies and so forth, was the sort of a decarbonization of shipping industry. How to make shipping industry more climate friendly, more environmentally friendly. So I think that that's one area of great potential. Then we also have very interesting sort of marine technology in sort of autonomous shipping in Finland as well. And then of course again energy. That's one. There's actually a Finnish company has been making a successful like a pilot project in Portugal on wave energy. And then sort of the blue economy, how to utilize sort of marine resources in a sustainable way, in a way that does not deplete the ocean of any resources, but rather safeguards them. So that's another area where I think that we can we can benefit both from cooperation. We have. I'm very happy that every year we have a number of exhibitions here. For instance, now just last week opened a very good photography exhibition in Chiado in the Contemporary Art Museum. And there's been actually quite a strong emphasis on photography, and there's been also joint exhibitions of Portuguese and Finnish photographers, sort of a combining sort of art from both countries, which I think is very, very interesting. And then music. We've had in the Gulbenkian we have had wonderful Finnish performers. Both conductor and then opera singer Karita Mattila, who came at the beginning of this year. So these are some of the examples, and then movies and films. There's one very interesting movie because it's a Finnish director, Finnish movie, but about Portuguese surfer. I think she was the first woman who surfed, some of the biggest monster waves in Nazaré. So it's a documentary film about her, and then about the Finnish woman who dives under the ice. And it's extremely interesting, and it won also a prize here at the Surf Film Festival. And another Finnish documentary just also won an award 2 weeks ago in a documentary film festival here in Lisbon. We cooperate with the Cultural Institute in Madrid, which is covering Finnish Cultural Institute in Madrid, Ibero-American Institute, which covers both the whole of Iberia, but also then countries in South America, and they very often support cultural programs here, for which we are very happy about. But I would be keen to do much, even more, because I think that culture is the one that opens the eyes of a nation to another nation, and you get to know each other so much better. And also we have some fantastic films about the Finnish nature. The Finnish nature is absolutely fantastic. And so there's so much variety. We have amazing archipelago in the south. It's like sailing in a garden when you sail. We have so many small islands while you sail there. It just it's so beautiful. And then we have the Lake District, which is extremely interesting as well. You have, if you're driving there, you have lake on the left and on the right all the time, and then of course the vast forests. And then and Lapland. Lapland is of course extremely interesting, even exotic. If you go there in the winter time, you can see the northern lights. It's going to be freezing cold, but we know how to protect against the cold and cold and enjoy the winter. So and all of this, I think that we can also promote through cultural cooperation as well. Would love to welcome many more Portuguese to Finland and see it with your own eyes. I think tourism is of course also very important for us, and I think that there's been the increasing interest in the past years and decade towards Finland from people all over the world, from Asia and so forth. And I think some of the best things that Finland has to offer is nature and as I described before, we have amazing archipelago where you can enjoy the nature, sailing and all that, but also wonderful food in the either very traditional settings, or then very modern, beautiful sort of buildings. And we emphasize sort of a sustainable tourism a lot. And so you can go kind of back to nature and if you want, rent a small hut by the sea and with the sauna and enjoy sort of the simple, peaceful life. And the same goes with the Lake District. That's it's quite unique. I mean, the sort of the vastness of the nature we have, the vastness of the forest, the vastness of the lakes. You have lakes everywhere, and then not that many people. So it's kind of it's very peaceful environment, and you can really sort of load your batteries, after the busy working life, or then you can really have a wonderful relaxing experience there. And then again with very interesting cultural highlights as well. And Lapland, that's perhaps the sort of the most what Finland is most known for when it comes to tourism, because it's so exotic. You can live in an ice hotel, or you can live in a glass igloo, so that you can see from when you're sleepy, you can see the northern lights and admire the snowy forests around you. So it's quite breathtaking actually. And at this time of the year in Lapland, it's amazing because all the trees turn into yellow, different shades of yellow and red and so forth. So this is also a wonderful time to go there. And you shouldn't be worried about the temperature. I mean, of course, in the winter it can get very cold, but we know very well how to protect us against that, and so and in the summer it can be really, really nice and warm, 25, 30, even 35. So wonderful summer holidays as well. Absolutely, yeah. This is something that we are very proud of, the Finnish design and architecture, and we have long traditions of sort of the more modern architecture as well, from the beginning of last century and from the middle of last century. Alvar Aalto, for instance, and Aino Aalto, they have wonderful both buildings and furniture and glassware and so forth. And then sort of the glass art is something very well known in Finland, and also ceramics. And there are new artists all the time who come up with new ways and new techniques and so forth. It's a very both of them are very sort of a living forms of design in Finland. And one of the main features, I think, in our design and architecture now is sustainability. There are lots of we have amazing houses, even like high-risers made of wood, and sort of the new materials, sort of sustainable materials, are all the time developed of wood and all kinds of residues from the forestry, and other sort of biomaterials, and then combined with a very simple Nordic Scandinavian design, I think is absolutely fantastic. We have, for instance, in Helsinki, the main library. It's worth coming to Helsinki just to see that piece of architecture. Is amazing, made of wood, but with very interesting sort of forms, and then in Helsinki also we have these complex right by the sea in the center, two very interesting complexes with a sauna, with big saunas that, you know, public saunas, and the pools right in the center, and then with a restaurant. So that's again, I mean, it's combining design, architecture, and kind of a hip culture of you know, very trendy restaurants and all that. It's absolutely worth visiting and trying out these. Again, it's all about nature. You know, it's all about getting the food from nearby. I mean, we have all the lakes all over the country, or we have the sea all over the country. So there's a lot of fish, and really nice types of fish. And then an ideal meal would be that you fish your own fish, then you go to the forest, pick your own mushrooms. Absolutely excellent mushrooms. We have in the forest, and then we have, you know, so many berries. And the berries in Finland and in other Nordic countries, I think they are so tasty because they grow for such a long period of time, so they get a lot of flavor. So these this is something that we really treasure, is sort of the food from our own lakes and the forests, and then and of course meat, like reindeer meat is the extremely tasty, you know, something that it's worth trying. And then but then in the past years we've had lots of excellent food innovations of like plant-based proteins. So made, for instance, a product called pulled oat. It's a little bit like a same consistency as pulled pork, but it's made of beans and oat and so forth, and another kind, lots of other kinds of plant-based products. And and I think that, you know, they could take the world by the storm because they go so well with the sort of the climate change measures and sustainability and the vegan sort of a vegan trend. So I think that they are wonderful products. And one thing is that our you know, the air and the soil and the nature as a whole is very clean. Very clean. So this is one of also the sort of the strong points of the food from Finland. We actually had a year ago. We had a group of Finnish chef and waiter students who came to my residence to make a traineeship. So we had wonderful Finnish meals, and again directly from the forest and the lakes here. And I hope to get them back here. My my dream would be to have to show, for instance, the films that I mentioned to you about, perhaps to have a Nordic film festival or something like that, with the sort of movies that will bring our countries closer to Portuguese, and then showing sort of also the cooperation, like the Finnish-Portuguese movie about surfing and diving under the ice. That kind of things I think are wonderful to bring people together, and also children's movies. I think we have wonderful children's movies in Finland, but also in other Nordic countries that could that I believe would be very, very popular here as well. And then we would have the privilege of showing our countries, to Portuguese children and get them know in that sense. So perhaps that is one of the things that I'm hoping to be able to work on in the near future. The stereotype is always that we are a little bit reserved and quiet and shy, like that we like to look at our shoes when we are talking with other people and so forth. And well, there might be some truth about that, but I think it's just a very small part of the truth. We are I think Finns are very honest people and sincere. Like when making an agreement, then we stick to that, and also we are very curious and we are very much open to the world. We want to get to know people from other cultures and other countries and to sort of enrich our own culture as well. But then what I think that is more and more we are sort of we are a tech nation, we are an innovative nation. That is something that is very much in our DNA, that because already a long time ago, before we became independent even, we realized that we are such a small country. We have to focus on the people. People is our best asset. So there was a huge, strong emphasis on education and equality in education. That everybody, no matter where you live, in the most remote corner of Finland, or what kind of a wealth your family may or may not have, none of this should have any impact on the quality of education that you get. So this is very much on the basis, and on building on that, then we have become one of the always sort of on the top of the international comparisons when it comes to innovations and sustainability and prosperity, equality, and so forth. And I think that this sort of this innovative, sort of a bold way of thinking outside the box, that's a very Finnish feature as well. But thank you first of all so much for the interview and for the chance to talk with all of you and to present something about Finland. I would like to invite you all to visit Finland, to see everything in more detail, to discover and enjoy our nature and our really vibrant society with lots of innovations, with lots of out-of-the-box thinking. Let's join our hands in fostering partnerships in businesses and in culture. This is something that I think that will be extremely beneficial to us all. So thank you very much.
Foi mais Encontros do Mundo em Lisboa, desta feita com a Sra. Embaixadora da Finlândia, que falou tão apaixonadamente do seu país, da sua cultura, do seu povo. Espero que tenham gostado tanto quanto eu de ouvir e de falar com a Embaixadora e conhecer mais um pouco sobre a Finlândia. E convido-vos a ver agora, a seguir, mais um vídeo sobre este país. Até à próxima!